It's not just about finding helpless people. It's about finding hopeful people. We pick up if they want to be helped or not, if they want to be empowered or not. जबरदस्ती किसी को आप empower नहीं कर सकते, because help happens in 1 2 days. Empowerment takes months.
It's also necessary that when you empower someone, they understand the value of it and then they continue doing it.
When you go back to your home, there has to be someone who mentally helps you, who becomes your diary, who becomes your journal. Pranay is that person for me. That kid.
First is how did you come to finding a voice that these are the kind of conversations I'll come up with, I'll do it on social.
Content creation is the process of figuring it out every freaking day. Social impact में अगर आपको content बनाना है, it's all about merging your world with someone else's world while keeping the authenticity of that person and your compassion intact. What we used to be are the traces to where we want to go. So we come from a very humble background. We lived in the chawls of Mumbai all my life. For the last 2 years, I had no doubts, I had no complications, I had no any issues of going to any particular village when there is no light, going to a particular slum where there is only kitchen. I have no doubts. I can do it for the rest of my life. So I feel those minute mind experiences have added and piled up for me to have that confidence of never looking back.
My guest for today's episode of Ketchup Talks is using social media for more than just likes, or for brand collaborations for that matter. He's using it to create impact. From heartfelt storytelling to empowering people, especially children. Through his initiatives, he has not only raised funds, but also raised hope. He has, in every sense, built a community around kindness. This is Mrinil Mathur Rajwani, and join me as I catch up with Siddhesh Lokare, or popularly known as Siddesh. Hi Sid, welcome to Social Catch Up.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Firstly, I would like to start with congratulating you and tell you that how proud I am to sit with you and talk to you about all the good initiatives that you've done so far. I mean, I'm so happy that you're leveraging social media, you're leveraging content creation for social good and not just likes and shares and brand deals for sure. I'm like, for everyone who follows you, I think I'll be their voice and tell you that we're very proud of you. Keep doing such good work, and I hope that you achieve what you want to achieve with it.
Thank you so much for saying that.
But before we delve into the conversation about you and your projects, I would want to understand what made you pick content creation at the first place.
Um, whilst I was doing my engineering and MBA, I felt that I always want to be that kid who sticks to the TV screen, who wants to sit in front of the TV box and just see something, just to witness something that is entertaining. So I think from the beginning of my childhood, I wanted to become an actor. Or I just wanted to be in front of the camera for no reason, I don't know why. But then it somehow catapulted and it manifested into my love towards performing arts. So even I was a very unhealthy kid who weighed 110 kgs. I would want to go on a stage and dance. I would want to unpack my talent. I would want to unpack my confidence. So I've always been that guy. So this guy, he will go, whatever event is there, he will go and he will dance. So I think that stayed with me. That very essence stayed with me. And that is how I think कि job तो कर रहा हूँ, job करते करते what can be something that can help me do what I used to do in college. So that's why I picked up my camera, my mobile camera, and started recording. It started with marketing and psychology content. Then it went to dance content. Then it went to like this very journey. But right now, the whatever we are doing, it's not just about content. It's much more than that. So I want to take it to the next level. But content creation somehow came to me instead of me picking it up. So yeah.
I'll come back to you evolving with your content. You started with something else and now you're working towards something else. But before that, I would want to understand, like when we were rewinding it a bit, when how were you as a kid, you did mention that you always wanted to be before camera. You
Yeah.
wanted to dance or perform and stuff. But as a person, how if I have to go back and meet that kid?
Yeah. I think that kid would be a little traumatized because of the ragging stuff. But apart from that, so we come from a very humble background. We lived in the chawls of Mumbai all my life. And I think that part is very significant for my evolution. I feel I keep it with me wherever I go. Even if I'm sitting in this AC room with so many colors around me, there's so much of materialism that I couldn't have comprehended that point of time. It doesn't matter because in my head, I'm still that kid who used to live in that small room. So you would meet that kid. He won't be able to express himself, but if you want him to perform something, he'll do it just for the sake of that expression. Apart from that, had no clarity of life, had no clarity of what I want to do in life. Uh, Engineer, doctor, no clarity, just wanted to go with the flow. So I have been that guy who was just dreamless, ambitionless, to where I am. It's a complete narrative shift. So I think that fabric of transformation has been completely molded with my self sacrifices, my self suppressions, but also with the kind of network I pulled in while I went on my journey. Because I've always been a very curious kid. So you put me anywhere, I'll be extremely curious about understanding the nitty gritty and also the in depth material of that particular industry. If you put me on this sofa, I'm very intrigued by this sofa. I like the color. So I'll go back. I search on IKEA. I'll search, is there any sofa like this? Right? What is the price? Are there any other alternatives? Will this fit in my studio? Will this fit in my house? So I've been that curious kid. I'm still now. So I think,
So you said that you were still that kid. You want to carry that kid with you. How is that environment? I know it plays a lot of role how we are as a kid, where we grow up as. How do you retain that today? I know you are curious in everything that you use, but do you still have that baby in your mind? That do you still go back to that kid and say that what would Sid do that?
three things I feel to do that. I recommend this to everyone who want to get in touch with what they used to be. Because what we used to be are the traces to where we want to go.
Definitely, I
Right?
completely agree.
So, three things. Number one, talk to as many children as you can. Uh, Talk in their language, not in your language. Number one. Number two, ask your parents, hey mom, hey dad, what is something that I used to pick up when I was a child? So, be it a guitar, be it cooking some food, be it reading a book. It's very important to ask that question to your parents, because what we did without having this part of our brain is something that subconsciously and inherently resides inside of us. So if you double down on that in that particular skill, you'll do amazingly well, is what I can recommend to everyone. Number three, most important, um, it's very important to write down your thoughts in the manner which are extremely random. So I feel journaling, people say journaling is very important, but people think that journaling is actually systematic writing, but it's not like that. Journaling is basically letting your thoughts uh, take a road, which can be like this, which can be like this, which can be like this. Every day you can choose that path. Every day you can choose the road, choose the direction that you want to go in. So I think journaling in the way which is completely randomized and as per what you feel right now is very important to reconnect with something that you used to be. So is what I feel.
And coming to your content that we discussed earlier as well, and taking the cue from what you do right now, from what journaling, for speaking to your parents, that childhood memory that you have, is there a particular memory that you think that might have triggered you to start making the content that you make right now?
Yeah.
Like the shift that you've done from what, from especially from dancing to now.
Yeah. I feel the compassion that my mom held has played a very important role in what I do right now. Um, my mom used to be that person who would cook for 20 people in one room and then go to her college because she was completing her education post her marriage. This is what I haven't seen, but this is what I have heard from my father, that she would go and learn, come back, then cook again, and she did not have a very happy marriage life. Most of the part of her life, most times, and then after 2 years she got a job, and then she started working because my dad used to sell vegetables all his life. So I feel whenever my mom does not tells that story often, but whenever she does, I've heard her once. It came with so much of compassion for others, right? Because what do you expect as a mother? What do you expect as a woman? Like, you expect to be respected, you expect to be loved, you expect to be cared, not just in the form of providence. Providence is not everything. So I feel she always told me, whatever happens, लोग कितना चाहे बोले, तुम्हें जितना चाहे बोले, तुम इतना एफर्ट मार के भी, घर चला के भी, काम करके भी, अगर तुम्हें प्यार नहीं मिल रहा है, I chose to not move away. I chose to be there, and I chose to love. And I think this is what stayed with me. Like, when she told me that, the kind of compassion I hold right now is a reflection of what she is. So whenever I meet a child who is traumatic, whenever meet a child who's an orphan or someone who's blind, physically impaired in any sense, I see every child with the same lens. And that lens is provided to me by my mother. So that's how it is.
I think she did play a role model for you in life,
Yeah.
because I mean, one thing I truly believe is when women know that what the power they have within, they can actually do wonders. They can actually win the world, kind of situations. I know for a fact that, and I have a huge respect for people, not just women, but people who goes out and at least make an effort to fulfill their dreams at whatever age they are.
Yeah.
I mean, and education is one of them. Even after getting married, if she decided to complete her education and then do job because she could finally do that, I think I have a different respect for her.
Yeah. Thanks for saying that. She'll be very happy.
No, I actually did I am a proud daughter because my father my father did after engineering. Like after graduation, he picked up a job and he finished. And after retirement, he had one dream to do in masters because he couldn't do that time, and he finished it now and he excelled with good. And when I saw him studying with looking for notes on internet, going through YouTube videos to understand what engineering concepts are there now. So I every time I go back to that memory, I feel proud of him. So I know that for her also, I'm very proud of her that that she wanted to do that. She wanted to overcome the family situation, having a kid and the duties towards a kid, the family, and she did it. So I'm super proud of her.
How beautiful is that?
Thank you. I know I just went off the
No,
conversation.
that's what I like. That's fine. Completely fine.
Okay. Coming back to the content that you create, you had a moment in general in life which gives you that compassion, but it's not an easy kind of route that you've picked up. A social impact content is not what everybody makes. It's in the world where trends are dominating. What made you that, okay, no, I want to do this? Because I know it's not one of initiative. I went back to your account like 2 years ago as well, and in your capacity, even if it was for one person to offer for so many people, hundreds and thousands of kids, you kept doing some or the other initiative. What makes you pick an initiative at any point of time? And why do you think that, okay, this initiative is what deserves more time, more energy, your time and energy? And how do you approach?
I'll tell you one very important thing here is that this kind of industry you cannot pick. It has to come to you. It has to you have to let it happen. So so as you said rightfully that I did a bunch of initiatives. One of it was actually there was this one person who is handicapped, and his name is Vishwaji. So Vishwaji was begging in front of Dargah. He actually is a Hindu person, but he converted into a Muslim person, not officially, of course, just so that he will be accepted by the Dargah to be able to beg. Right? And I met him. I asked him about his name. He lied about his name. He told some Muslim name. And then I started talking to him because I understood some kind of hesitation in the way he was talking. जब मैं बात कर रहा था, बात करते करते he just broke down and he said, "No, my name is Vishwa." And then we started talking about what happened to his leg. So basically, he was a farmer. And when he was in his 40s, he had a snake bite. And because of the snake bite, he had to cut his leg. So he had no one leg and he has to sustain all his life with just one leg. But the problem is, he has been carrying the bruise for over years and years, tens of years. And it had become very, very, unbearable to even witness him go through that pain. So I talked to him. I asked him, "What do you want? What would you like us to do for you?" And he said, "I don't want any money. I just want to do some job." But I'm like, "Bro, you cannot even walk properly. How will you do it?" "I don't know. I just want to do something. I just want to do something." So we figured out a plan. We went to Fort. Or Fort जाके हमने we picked up some stuff. We picked up झुमकास, tons of झुमकास. Because that was a place वहाँ पे बहुत सारी रश होती है औरतों की. So we picked up hundreds of झुमकास. We set up a stand on which we put up all those झुमकास. And I told him that you can start selling. And on the day of the launch, he was not present when I called all the community members. And I looked for him everywhere. And we looked for him for about 2-3 hours, but he was nowhere to be found. And my community was waiting. We had all those jhumkas. And back then, I did not have a lot of funds and the resources to do it. But we had to somehow continue and we started selling those jhumkas. So we sold about 10,000 worth jhumkas, 10,000 rupees. We got all that money. And next day we went back. We found him in front of a station. And he said, like, "I lost myself. I did not know where I was." We gave him the box of money and he started crying. He started howling. Because he said that nobody who's as young as you has given me something as wise as this. He talked this in his own language, but it stayed with me. I think if I can, while doing such a small thing, if I can have a control over shifting the narrative of someone's life, just imagine if I have a lot, what can I do? So I think that incident became a guiding light for me to go forward with this. And then I just never looked back. For the last 2 years, I had no doubts. I had no complications. I had no any issues of going to any particular village when there is no light, going to a particular slum where there is only keychad. I have no doubts. I can do it for the rest of my life. So I feel those minute experiences have added and piled up for me to have that confidence of never looking back. So I think that's about it.
I mean, I'm speechless in that sense, but I would also want to pick your brain and understand that how do you decide that, okay, this is, you come across a thing and then decide that this is what needs the time and energy right now. There's one person you met and you come across. across a journey, and then you decide, okay, for this I can do something, I can try doing something. But there are initiatives which we'll discuss in detail about, is like the recent one, which is Mission 30303. It is a very well planned initiative that you decide and you pick. um that mean I think you've done in past is about with schools also, that you've kind of adopted a school and then you spoke about it. You've worked towards repairing those schools and education for kids and ensuring that there are enough resources for those kids. I think I've also seen that one initiative that you worked for some 9 days last Navratri or something that you
Yeah,
did
yeah,
for
yeah, yeah.
women, and but those are very planned initiative. So how do you come to deciding, okay, this is what I would want to do, and these are the ways we can approach it?
Yeah. I think the primary job of a social entrepreneur is to solve problems. And solving that problem is, I think, is a very far-fetched thing if you don't have the awareness of the problem. So the reason why I did those things is because it's not like, hey, it sounds very cool to do that. Okay, 9 days, 9 women, businesses. It sounds good, but it's not just that. It's very complicated. Firstly, you have to put an effort in understanding what is that, who is that woman who would actually
Would
benefit
want.
from it and who would actually continue doing that particular business, which is very important. Coming back to how do I do it, it's very important. It's very simple. Number one, I have been very active in understanding what's happening around the nation. And whatever triggers me, I feel this is where I want to go work. But there are three verticals where we completely and extensively work upon. Number one is child education. Number two is women empowerment. And third is a mixture of sustainability and also senior citizens. But number one priority will always be child education. So whenever someone tells me a case, whenever sends someone, one of my community members, because what we have done is we have formed communities in each of these cities. So Mumbai community, Delhi community, Bangalore community, or any particular village community, we have formed those WhatsApp communities on which we get continuous data points of cases and the people and the communities and the schools or centers that require any kind of help. That being the case, if I am walking on the road and if I see something, if I see someone who are, it's not just about finding helpless people, it's about finding hopeful people. And that's where the investment should be, from my point of view. That person is blind, but I still see that particular person come to Marine Drive, sing in front of a large audience, make money every day, go back to home, provide to his wife, come back again next day, do the same shit every day. I see hope there. So if I see hope there, I can convert that in the form of sustained passion by helping in some way. And that way has to be the way, not you what you want, but what they want. This is the same formula I apply in love and relationships. You love the person, they want to be loved, and not how you want to love them. Same applies to compassion. The whatever initiative we pick up if they want to be helped or not, if they want to be empowered or not. जबरदस्ती किसी को आप empower नहीं कर सकते, because help happens in 1-2 days, empowerment takes months.
It also, like you mentioned, that it's also necessary that when you empower someone, they understand the value of it and then they continue doing it.
Yeah.
But the reason I asked you the question was also because by profession you're also a content creator, and how insensitive it might sound, but you really have to make content out of it, out of the work that you're doing, so that people keep coming back to you for
Yeah.
more. I mean, and the PR of the work is also important, so that work gets light and more people get motivated to
Yeah.
come to you, to come to you with things. Like, even if you don't, I mean, if you would have done all this in silos and silent, that you've done, the work must have gotten the desired output.
Yeah.
But the funds that you raise, the more
Yeah.
initiatives that you get a chance to be part of, they might not have come to you in a sense,
Yeah.
because they were not made content out of it. So how do you think that, okay, this is viable for content, I can make content out of it, or this is not, or this is, or do you think that this is where you can draw a line that ठीक है, I'm making content about child education, I'm taking initiatives that are um, for people but are also good for a content peg or good for a content series?
I think we document everything, which is very important. If we do not put it out on the content like feed, we keep it with ourselves. It's very important to have social proofs of what you're doing, because trust me, there have been so many situations where people have betrayed us, people have complained against us. Even if we are trying to help them, they take it the other way. So I feel everything has to be documented, and that is why content makes it cool. I feel जो दिखता है वही बिकता है, और ये हमेशा ही ट्रू रहेगा. आप कोई भी एनजीओ उठा लो, अगर वो कंटेंट नहीं डाल रहे, दे आर नॉट अपलोडिंग कंटेंट, पीपल won't believe they exist. Right? Nowadays, people actually search on Instagram, like NGOs. They put up a keyword, NGOs, on Instagram. So if Instagram is becoming a search engine for people who want to help someone, there has to be a platform, there has to be someone who advocates these things upon whom they can trust.
I know, I
So I feel
agree to it, that you really need to put out what you're working on. Like I said, it's a proof, it's a way that people can come to you. So if I would want to do something for child education, I know I can reach out to you because you've put out so much content around it.
Yeah.
So I completely get that is equally important. But while we're working on this, do you feel that, okay, this is a line I would want to draw between
of course,
content
very
and
important.
initiative?
Always. And it happens every day. Because so many things happen every day in our lives. You can't even imagine. Like yesterday, I was at the school in Ulhasnagar, and while just having a conversation with one of the kid says that my mom is getting beaten up by my dad. Just very randomly, that guy says this. Now, these are the moments. These are the reasons that you cannot record. But these reasons are very important for you to be pushed to work in that particular vertical. So I feel that is a very good opportunity for me, that this kid randomly found me worthy to tell me something so sensitive. So if I can be his platform, I can be his channel, I can be a channel for thousands of kids. So why not work in mental health department? So what we are also trying to do is actually whatever schools that we have adopted, in those schools we are actually going to include mental health as a part of the syllabus, which is going to be very essential, because all these kids come from background where घर पे कुछ भी चलता रहता है. तो जितना पावर्टी रहता है, उतना ही ज़्यादा डेप्थ होता है झगड़ों का, इश्यूज का, और अब्यूज़ तो बहुत तरीके का रहता है. सो आई थिंक लाइक इट हैज़ गिवन मी, कल वो डिस्कशन के बाद मुझे ये मोटिवेशन मिला कि ये हमें बहुत जल्द से जल्द इम्प्लीमेंट करना है. So that cannot be recorded. The reason cannot be recorded. But the impact that we have, impact that we try to create because of that particular conversation, that has to be documented.
And how did, I will come to, there are two things that I would want to ask you right now with this. How did you come to finding a voice that these are the kind of conversations I'll come up with, I'll do it on social. These are the kind of conversations that you're having. You know, like you also mentioned that you'll have to have a filter towards it. But this is a voice. As a person who works very closely with creator economy, I'm going back to again and again between content and social initiative, because you need to have a voice that is appealing to people as well, that's content worthy as well, that gets millions of views. But just telling a story doesn't make sense.
Exactly. So there are two sides to this when it comes to this kind of content. One side of content creators are those who go on the roads and they give food they do something for beggars, and they put up those videos by attaching some emotional background music to it, and it goes viral, right? That is one side. Second side is this, where there is no one, it's only me. And like, bro, come on, बहुत लोग कर सकते हैं. So what we do is human storytelling, human based storytelling. Every person is a hero in their own ways, in their particular story. What we do is that we give complete control to the particular person who we are interviewing. Now the narrative is like the spotlight is shifting from me to him or her, that particular child. Now first is conflict. What is a conflict in that person's life, that child's life? For example, Arohi करके एक लड़की थी. She lost her father like 2 years ago. Conflict. Number 2, effort. What are the efforts that she's making for her dream? That is very important, which creates a sense of hope. Number 3, challenges. What are the challenges in her journey? Like, राशन नहीं है, उसको पहलवान बनना है, but she does not have a protein powder, does not have all the resources. Challenge hai. Number 4, action. You have to show the kind of action that you take or a gesture that you do to connect the dots between this person and her dreams. Right? So for Arohi, we put up a video जहाँ पे Sakshi Malik, Olympic winner, she saw the video of Arohi, and we actually made the video call happen between Sakshi Malik and her, because her hero was Sakshi Malik, Arohi's hero. Now, in the second part of the video is the conversation between Sakshi Malik and Arohi, where you could see the spark in her eyes and the way she feels confident about, even while she said this sentence, Arohi, that मेरे पापा 2 साल पहले मर गए थे. जब वो मर गए थे, उसके तीसरे दिन बाद मैं प्रैक्टिस के लिए चली गई थी और मैं उसके बाद रोई नहीं. And then when she met me, she started crying. And she did not even tear her, she did not try at all to let her tears fade away. She was letting herself cry. So I think it's very poetic that through video, through content, you find these heroes, you create a world around them. And while creating the world around them, you also try to merge your world with their world, is what I do. So I think social impact में अगर आपको content बनाना है, it's all about merging your world with someone else's world while keeping the authenticity of that person and your compassion intact.
And the second thing that I wanted to ask you is, while you're working on a mental health project for people, this was something I wanted to ask way deeper into the conversation, but how do you make sure that your mental health is also in check? Because these stories are very overwhelming. These places, attending, seeing someone in trouble, if you have a heart of compassion, and then it can be overwhelming for you as well.
Yeah.
So how do you keep in check?
Honestly, I've emotionally numbed myself, and it is helping. Trust me, it's very important. I have numbed myself to the extent where I only think about what all things I can do to make their lives better. So there are 2 types of empathies. Number 1 is a cognitive empathy. Number 2 is affective empathy. Cognitive empathy is basically you are crying. I understand like what you're feeling, what you're going through. So I listen to you. I try to understand your feelings. And I feel bad for you, right? That is cognitive empathy. Affective empathy is basically you are crying and I am going through your journey along with you together. So whatever you're feeling, I am also feeling. So if you are traumatized, I'll also feel traumatized. I'll be like, fuck, इसकी लाइफ तो बेटर हो ही नहीं रही है, मुझे कुछ करना पड़ेगा, मुझे कुछ करना पड़ेगा, मैं भी रो रही हूँ, मेरे को भी नींद नहीं आ रही है, मैंने भी सोना छोड़ दिया है. नाउ आई एम सफरिंग along with you, which is effective empathy. I reached the stage of effective empathy for over a year. I was experiencing that for over a year. And I understood that this is actually not healthy for me. So I started journaling like hell. I started spending time with myself a lot. And I started sharing the nuances with my team. Because I've been a person, okay, I won't tell the problems to my team. You tell me the problems, my team will only know the positive side of my work. But I understood it's not working. So I started sharing. I started telling that this had happened, this had happened. Because every day there is new trauma. But you cannot let that become suffering because you choose to. So I feel I chose to not go through it. I chose to numb myself to the level of only thinking about the actions I can do, not how bad I feel for you. Because they don't want that. The kids and the people, they don't want you to feel bad for them. They just want you to feel something.
They don't want pity.
They don't want pity. They just want you to feel something and do something for them. Right? So I feel just give them what they want instead of you crying about it. तो मैं तो वो रोती है, मैं तो हंसता हूँ, अरे कोई ना, इट्स ओके, क्राई क्राई, उसमें क्या है, बिंदास. हंस रहे थे ना अभी मेरे साथ, तो रो भी लो, क्या डिफरेंस है, कुछ बड़ा डिफरेंस नहीं है. वीडियो नहीं निकालना है, नहीं निकालेंगे, खत्म बात. So whenever someone starts crying, we mostly take our cameras down. But once they have become comfortable in crying, then the cameras are off. So it's a mental communication between me and my DOP. So that's about it.
And what are some other challenges that you face while working on such initiatives?
Logistical, mental, political, financial, a lot of problems. And I think there is because sometimes we do the work of the government. So that comes in the picture, right? People feel that why do we take the authority of creating impact and creating change if there is someone sitting above you who can do that job? I feel if we keep on waiting for that to happen, either we will become voiceless or our voices will never be heard. So I think if you create these initiatives and create these movements, it becomes benchmarks for others to follow. If you go and do protests, amazing. That's an amazing job to create a voice. But will that protest create a ripple effect in every state, in every city to do protests? It's very time consuming. It's very highly energy intensive. So I feel instead of that, come on the positive side. Do something that impacts someone. Replicate the same thing and do it in your way. So a lot of political challenges also because you have to go against
That's
the tide.
understandable.
And then a lot of financial issues also, then a lot of logistical issues also. Like for example, Mission 30303 was all about me going on a scooty. I never thought riding a scooty will be this difficult. I can't even imagine. So
You basically decided to drive for 30 days straight.
yeah, I'm a crazy person like that. I'm very crazy, trust me. And the next project that we are going to do, you're going to think I've lost it. So
Okay, and which of your initiative out of all that initiative or the work that you've done, which was the most difficult one for you, maybe emotionally or
Yeah.
financially, and in any which ways?
I think of course the Mission 30303, and if we don't talk about that now, I think 9-day series was very difficult. No, actually the first series was difficult. The first series that I
Always
did,
has to be the first one.
yeah, the first series was actually teaching a kid for 7 days. So
Okay.
there was this kid called Aryan, जिसको मैं 7 दिन पढ़ा रहा था. Different topics on the streets. And every day it was a task to find that kid because every day he would run off. Every day he would not come back. Every day he would like just vanish, escape. It was very difficult. And it was not just about creating content, it was just having a communication with that kid. because some kid are so वो तो ना ADHD build होता है, so they cannot sometimes they cannot understand what you are trying to do for them. So I think you let them be themselves. And जब आर्यन की सीरीज थी 7 दिन के लिए मेरे को पढ़ाना था और रोज जाके मैं ऐसे बड़ा सा व्हाइट बोर्ड लेके जाता था, स्कूटी पे लेके जाता था, ऐसे ऐसे गिरे ना, उसके बाद रोज उसको पढ़ाना, उसकी मम्मी के साथ, मम्मी से परमिशन लेना, पापा से परमिशन लेना जो रास्ते पे रहते हैं ऑफ कोर्स. And then there are some people who would come in between. They would obstruct. They would cause obstacles in our way. They would tell us to not teach. They would tell us क्यों कर रहे हो, हमारे स्कूल जाएगा भी नहीं, ये काम करेगा. So I think to battle that mental barrier and also generational barrier of making your child go and making your child make money since the minute they are born, not going to schools. Ye barrier, this bias, breaking that away was very, very crucial in the initial days. So I think वो difficult था मेरे लिए, because the message of that series was to, whenever you see a child who's a beggar, instead of giving 10 rupees, spend 10 minutes. That was the very purpose of that particular series, because I was teaching him for 10 minutes every day. So दिखाने के लिए 10 minutes, but हाँ, तो a lot of logistical reasons के वजह से difficult हो गया. Series complete होने के बाद we gave money to his father, and the father used that money for something else.
And I know what something else
Right?
that could be.
So we did it again. We made an FD. FD से निकाल के भी he used it for something else. So I think like some things are not in your control.
While talking to you also, I realize, and this is something I believe, that we feel that there is this thing is right for a person. We feel, and this is something I've come to terms very recently, that in any relationship, we feel that, okay, for this person, this is right, and we should do everything in our capacity to make things right for that person. And especially, it could be for your partner, for your sister, for your brother, and anyone. But we really need to think, and from their end also, that do they feel that this is right? Do they really need this right in their life? So while in your case, for Aryan, for you thought that for Aryan to learn something is very important to study, but does Aryan thinks it in the same way?
Yeah.
Right. And this also makes me remember there is this in the signal downstairs down. It's a very prominent signal, and there are a lot of people, the kids who are begging, and it was raining, and my husband and I were in a car, and we were waiting for signal because it's a pretty long signal, and there was this kid. It was raining, not too heavy, but it was raining. And there was this kid who's selling pens or something, balloons or something, and was without an umbrella. So my husband called him and was like, "Tu bina umbrella kyun hai yaar? Chhata to le le." So no, mere paas nahi hai chhata. And then there was on the side, there was this person who was selling chhata. And my husband bought an umbrella, gifted it to him. And it's like, अब तू इसके नीचे बैठ के इसको लेके फिर तू सेल कर ले. तुझे सेल करना है, तू सेल कर. Because it was right there, we came back, we saw it from ऊपर that the guy is without chhata, and that chhata is back to the seller.
Yeah.
So we thought that we are doing right, but they don't need it. Rather, the guy made money out of it. That chhata by reselling that.
It might be a strategy, trust me. It might be a strategy, high chances.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not necessarily the right we think for them is the right they need.
Yeah.
And that's why I kept asking throughout the interview that how do you decide that, okay, this is the initiative, I have to go for it? Because you really don't know that other person need that thing or not in life.
Yes. That's why I think ask questions. Ask a lot of questions to whomever you are trying to help. It's your duty to get all the documents, to get all the data. We never help someone who does not have an Aadhaar card. It's very risky. So we have reached that stage where we go only via the mode of, proper documentation, where you have to get the Aadhaar card, whatever the case is. Or if they do not have the Aadhaar card, make an Aadhaar card. तो हमने Aadhaar card बनवाए भी हैं लोगों के. So Yeah.
And you've spoken to so many people. What is one story that always stays with you when you say that whenever you think of a situation that am I on the right path or should I back out? A, did you ever get that thing that okay, I should I back out now?
Yeah.
Or if you get, then what you keep keeps you going? Either it's a story from someone or something someone said, or maybe someone your childhood story.
Yeah. There was this one kid called Pranay, shoe cobbler, very wise person, very wise kid, 10 years old, lost his father to alcohol. And that video went extremely viral because that conversation was so pure and authentic. I could feel that a wise 50-year-old man is talking to me in the form of this particular child. And that child calls me every day, like once or twice a week, because we raise 3 4 lakhs for him and we are providing him and his family monthly ration. We admitted him to a school. He's going to a school now. We got him out of that particular shop. He's not a shoe cobbler anymore. And happily studying, happily staying with his family because mom is blind, brother is mentally challenged, and is the only person who makes money. He used to make money for his family, and he had to go the shop because if he does not, nothing happens, and no food. So this kid calls me every week, and he asks me that um, आपकी health सही है ना? And I think that itself is enough for me to stay positive because there is someone you have helped who give a shit about your health, who give a shit about how you are doing. So Pranay always calls me and tells me, आप इतने लोगों की मदद करते हो, आपकी मदद करने वाला कोई है? तो मैंने बोला है ना, तू है ना.
That's so sweet.
So that one statement he had said in one of our conversations has always stayed with me. Ke at the end, when you go back to your home, there has to be someone who mentally helps you, who becomes your diary, who becomes your journal. So
You
I
really
think,
need that person.
yeah, Pranay is that person for me. That kid.
That's
yeah.
so sweet. That's so sweet of you and for him as well.
Yeah.
He thinks you like that. I mean, that is what I was saying earlier as well. No, that when you make an impact, when you make an initiative, it has to be sustained in life. The other person should be able to sustain
Yeah.
and value that thing. That is more important. But like I was asking you earlier, did it ever occur to you that I should stop doing this, or
No.
there are so many problems coming?
Never.
Never. That has never happened to you.
Never. I feel this is the clearest goal of my life. I have no distractions. I have no needs. I don't go to parties. I don't go to events. I don't go anywhere. I don't meet creators. I live in my own world with my team, with my girlfriend, with my family. That's it. I feel this is where I belong because if I exist where I actually persist, that's it. There are no distractions. So that's why there are no doubts. Since 2 days, 2 years, I might have had self doubts, but when it comes to what I do, there are no doubts. Even if I'm like sick, I've not taken an off in 3 years, in 2 years, not a single day off. I work every day. I talk to 5 people every day minimum. I try to understand problems. I write down things every day. I create a diary and write down every day. I am on my laptop every time you meet me. So I'm that person. It's a little toxic, but I like it that way.
And while we talk about different kind of initiatives, we have spoken about Mission 30303 so many times. A, do you would want to bring it here, highlight what
Yeah.
it is for this, for the conversation, for the podcast.
So Mission 30303 is basically 30 days, 30 schools and 3 crore rupees for helping and improving these schools. So these 30 schools were actually were broken down into two categories. Number one, schools that are extremely in bad conditions, on the verge of collapsing infrastructure wise, bad situations in terms of all the amenities and facilities. Number two, schools that have extremely amazing talent, but they also lack the infrastructural and communal support. So I interviewed more than 100 schools across Maharashtra, because if we talk about the data points, there are 22,000 plus schools in Maharashtra which are um, listed as unsafe. There are 75,000 plus schools in Maharashtra that do not have proper benches. One in four toilets across Maharashtra do not have, are not school. One out
Sanitation.
of four schools in Maharashtra do not have toilets for girls. And then after reading this data, I also read this report by the think tank of India that even if there are colored walls in schools, the attendance increases by 20 to 30%. Even if there is a good toilet in a school, the attendance increases by 30 to 40%. If schools are provided with meals, schools provide meals to the students, attendance increases by 50 to 60%. There are so many data points and we never read them. There's so many things that we don't know because we always learn about kids going to NASA, ISRO, this talented kid, that talented kid, international schools and whatnot. I feel village schools have a lot to offer. So I just, I thought of reaching out, selecting these 30 schools. So I was traveling for 30 days straight on my scooty, 5,000 plus kilometers, 30 different talukas, 10 to 15 districts. And the goal was to meet, document, and understand the problems of these kids who have extreme passion, extreme confidence to something great in life, but the walls of their classrooms tell the different story, right? So for the last 30 days, I told their stories. It became extremely viral. We garnered around 200 million or 200 million plus views in 1 month, and we crossed 3 crore fundraiser. And we basically will be reconstructing and providing infrastructural and all communal and also educational support to these schools. So be it the walls are broken, we'll fix them. There are no roofs, we'll fix them. Need computers, need digital boards, we'll fix them, we'll provide them to you. Do you need proper benches, we'll give it to you. Do you need a toilet, we'll give it to you. So all of these 30 schools have different requirements. We have gotten these requirements, put it on Instagram as a post, so people know what are the requirements of the school and how much estimation is required. Once we were done, we started working the second day. 30 day, I was traveling on my scooty. My back was gone. My bum was numbed. But still, when we came back, we started working on the school. So right now, we have transformed one school completely with painting, with computer lab, with digital classrooms, benches, and everything. And now the work of the second, third, and fourth school is going on. So yeah.
Nice. And why I wanted you to talk about this initiative is because this initiative also requires a lot of it to go viral.
Yeah.
And had it not gone viral, the difficulty you would have faced to raise funds is,
100%.
and without funds, the mission was not successful. So I'm glad that you finally got viral and got 3 crore plus funding. But I want to come to a question and ask you that how do you ensure that these initiatives are beyond just viral thing, with virality, likes, and all this, and they're creating measurable real world
Yeah.
change?
So, number one, whatever donors have contributed to us, we have made a group We are reaching out to them. We are sending them updates of what's going on our Instagram page, on our my own NGO's page. We put up all the posts. We put up all the updates of what's going on with these schools. We have also put up the 1 year action of plan of action (POA) of how we are going to execute in the form of 3 different phases, so people understand what is the action plan on how we are going to execute. All the bills, all the updates of and all the invoices will be shared inside the WhatsApp groups of the teachers, because we have also made a group of all the teachers who have we have worked with and who are going we are going to work with. And apart from that, complete transparency on the website. You can go and you can see all the data points. You can see all the numbers. Who are the donors? How many funds they have contributed? You can see all of it. So we have already put all of it, kept all of it in front of the world, so that we can be transparent. And also all the updates and all the things that we are going with the school, in सबका एक video हम डालने वाले. So yeah, the before after transformation will also be there on our feed, so people understand the change is happening.
Okay. And how do you think the in general audience perceive social impact or impact driven content or creators? Or do you think that kindness is becoming like a trend or a one of bit? Or do you think that this can be used or social media can be used to grow and impact, to
Yeah.
increase the ripple effect of it?
Yeah, I truly feel kindness is a mental flex that you have to show to first yourself, to the people you love, and to your own house. Kindness always starts with your home. Be kind to yourself, be kind to the people who love you, and the rest follows. That's what I started with. I started with repairing my own home. I started with working towards making money. I started with a therapy for myself. I started with journaling for myself. So I feel when we perceive and see all these videos of people being kind, we only see one side. It's only one dimensional, that you see someone's helping someone. But that person who has taken time to be this compassionate might have gone through such a extreme story, that journey that you do not know. So maybe ask that person, what is your journey? I think all these people who do social impact, they have to come on such podcasts and tell you their story on what is their why. So social impact करो, social work करो, but खुद का भी why बताओ, खुद का भी vision बताओ. If the audience trusts and has faith in your vision and understand where this person is leading, it becomes easy for them to find it cool. Food farmer is a very good example, that the person has put his goal, has dedicated his life to this goal, and that was from day one. I have been working on child education since last year, from day one. I've kept that promise to myself. My bio is also like that. My feed is also like that. The people I hang out with, the podcast I have is also around with kids. So I'm very deterministic when it comes to my point of view of working towards child education. So doesn't matter how people perceive your content, but if you have self-doubt towards yourself, your own degree of compassion, people will spot it. And audience is very smart. I feel if you fake it, they will understand it. They will find it. So you don't have to worry about it. So I just be yourself.
And do you see brands and creators in future co-creating for this initiatives like these, for something like more kinder projects, more initiatives that are like, I know bigger brands do have a CSR initiatives, but do you see them using creators for a change?
Yeah, 100%. It happened in the series. Before that, when we did a fundraiser for the school in Panvel, we got funds from Ori. Who would expect? That's such a cool thing. We got funds from Ayushman Khurana. We got funds from Nikhil Kamath, Beer Biceps. All these amazing people which are relevant, relatable to the audience which is right now. Then Mission 303, we got funds from the Soul Store, 10 lakh rupees. We got support from the Pongs Group, another company. Creators, we got support from Abhi and Neo. We got support from Ranveer. And so many micro and so many Gen Z creators that there are, they have contributed in their own ways. So I feel people and creators and brands from every industry have come forward to support us. Just because they could see a young fellow, they could see a young lad doing something as crazy as this. तो इसीलिए आपके सोशल इम्पैक्ट के काम में मसाला होना ही चाहिए. अगर मैं ऐसे निकल जाता 30 दिन मैं जाऊंगा तो काफी लाइक बोरिंग साउंड करता.
बट स्कूटी पे जाऊंगा और क्या
बजर बजेगा. तो आई थिंक ये इसको कूल बनाना भी काफी इंपॉर्टेंट है. सो इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट दैट यू ऐड योर लेयर्स ऑफ मसाला एंड योर पर्सनालिटी on the top of social impact. It does not have to be serious work. You can crack jokes. It does not have to be emotional all the time. You can show your energy. तो जब हम लोग जब बेंचेस हमने सेटअप किए थे, I was screaming, hey, benches. I was screaming like that. And that's my personality. I'm not a boring person. I'm not a silent person. I talk loudly. I don't know how to be silent. I don't know how to be soft, calm. So your personality and your masala of storytelling has to be amalgamated with social impact to be able to come off as a good storyteller.
And what did you learn personally in this process? How your personality has evolved? Because you were talking about your personality right now, and
Yeah.
but after working with so many people, working on so many initiatives, what's that? Has your empathy, your patience, your faith changed?
I think my empathy is at levels I cannot even comprehend.
Hmm.
I'm not even bragging. I feel so calm. So calm. I'll tell you, when I was riding my bike, I was riding my scooty. There were days when I was riding my scooty for a 7 hour stretch without a single stop. 7 hour from Nashik to Nandurbar. For 7 hours. And this was everyday story. There was nothing. There was no distraction. I had no one to talk with. I had no earphone. It was just me with myself, with my thoughts on the road for 7 hours. Can you imagine yourself doing nothing for 7 hours? I was that person every day. I could spend time with myself. I can just be myself. I can scream while I'm riding my scooty. Woo! I could scream. I can just take a stop. I can just, be by myself in front of this amazing sky, which is just covered with the blanket of amazingness. It's all foggy. I'm on a very dangerous ghat. I could see a peacock flying. I could see, I spotted a tiger. I spotted so many snakes. I saw all of that by myself, right? While receiving n number of calls that this had happened, this had happened, this had happened, this went wrong, this person complete. What can you do? You can just listen and go along with your road. And that's the philosophy of life I've kept with myself. Whatever happens, you go forward with your road. You go forward. You just listen. बिकॉज वो रोड में आप कुछ नहीं कर सकते. उसमें आपको कुछ भी कंट्रोल नहीं.
उस टाइम पे कुछ नहीं है.
Cannot do anything. But once you reach the destination where you want to be, you can relax and you take decisions. So I feel my major messaging to everyone who is getting a lot of problems in the process of content creation is the very reminder yet that you're creating content is not, you create content does not equalizes to you figured it out. Content creation is the process of figuring it out every freaking day.
Because you keep up to evolve as well.
Yeah. Because if you stop evolving, your content will stop evolving. It's very simple. If you don't learn something new every day as a person, as a creative artist, your content will.
Coming to your Kindly Club, it's a platform.
Yeah.
Like that's where you ask people to
Contribute.
donate as well. So why did you start that, and what was the gap you were trying to fill?
It's very simple. When you create so many videos, people think that donations happen only because videos come out. It's not like that. So हमारे लिए काफ़ी tough हो रहा था to navigate and to categorize for which cause people want to contribute, to which cause people actually want to donate, to which cause people have stopped caring about. So we used to do like comments and put up all the QRs, and it was a very random way of doing it because audit भी करना पड़ता है. Audit में you have to show which person has donated this amount of money, and uske details you need to show it to the government, right? So that is why it was very important for us to have a comprehensive platform where we can list all the fundraisers together. Now people can choose the fundraiser that they want to donate. It can be one, it can be multiple fundraisers. It can be you donating every month, which will be automated. So it's like a SIP for contributions. Apart from that, we are collating everything there. Volunteering activities. We are creating a Book My Show for kindness. So the Kindly Club is actually a Book My Show for kindness where you can come, you can contribute, you can get karma points, you can use those karma points to buy something from social startups or someone from some NGOs who are selling something. So everyone is being benefited. The consumer, the club, the people, the social startups, and the beneficiaries.
Okay. And we also know that you have a podcast, while because we're talking about these physical kind of initiative, not physical, but yeah, these IP kind of initiatives. So you have a podcast which we spoke about before being sat on this podcast, which is Just Kidding.
Yeah.
And like I told you earlier, I came across your profile through it, and I love that podcast because the way kids speak at it is amazing. So, how did you begin that?
Same love for kids. The way I am with my niece is just crazy. I'm very crazy with her. So I think it's just an extension of who I am in real life. If I see a kid while I'm walking on the road, I'll make faces. While I'm driving, while I'm riding my scooter, I'll make faces. That's who I am. Because I don't care how they perceive me. Because they don't care how you want to be perceived. They don't care how they want to be perceived. So there is no mental judgment. There are no barriers. There are no cognitive biases. So we were working with underprivileged kids all the time. So we thought, why not also create an IP where we would invite anyone from any particular financial background, from any particular city, who have wisdom to offer. So I started inviting kids in different interest fields. Someone in spirituality, someone in mythology, someone in maybe chess, someone in dance, art, movies, cricket. So we invited, and one by one, these kids started going viral. And we started the podcast, and just within 2-3 months, we crossed 100K subscribers, 100K followers. And a lot of amazing heroes came out of it. Like Paridhi, she became extremely viral. Ashman became viral. Then Arnav, amazing guy. So many small kids, they started getting offers for ads. They started getting different offers from podcasts like yours.
Yes, for sure. I'm sitting with Paridhi.
You should definitely. So I think we gave them a platform, and they used the platform to write their own stories. And now they're doing independently really well in their lives. So I feel like a very proud chachu.
How lucky you've said you're a chachu face. Okay, so you built a brand out of kindness and goodness for yourself. What is next for Siddesh? Maybe personally, professionally, creatively.
A lot of things. Number one, to build the greatest school of the country that will make other countries to come to that school. The most collaborative school in the world. Number two, to work towards the goal of educating every child in this world. Number three, to work on educational policy, to create an autonomous board of myself, of our own team. Number four, two, right now I'm working on an IP. An IP is basically, um, is actually giving platforms for celebrities to also come and visit these schools and become teachers for a day. A celebrity as a teacher for a day. So we're working on that IP. And a lot of other different projects have been confirmed recently. So working on that. I want to work in the sector of kids who have cancer, work towards their education. Um, Also, we have a center in Karamboli where we have been teaching underprivileged women, housewives, on how to sew, on how to stitch, create products out of waste material. So, want to scale that
Nice.
also. We also have adopted a village called Khidukpada. So, we are collaborating with the Soul Store. We work to expand that to the next level. I want to create a smart city of myself where everything is sustainable, where everything is community oriented, where everyone feels included, where everyone feels that they're breathing the freshest air in the world. So I want to do something like that also. A lot of stuff. And I also want to become one of the greatest creator teams in the world.
What next do you want to do is also very child centric, and I that's I wanted to ask you earlier as well. And why are you so passionate about child education?
Because there is no other way. Trust me, children are not waiting for the government to repair the schools. They're just waiting for someone. And that someone can be anyone. You, me, the guy holding the camera, the production team, anyone.
But what motivates why you to be passionate about child education is, um, I'm sure, like I know that, like the backstory about
Yeah.
you that you've mentioned, you have also made a name for yourself. Like you've said that you were living at a very small place.
Yeah.
Your father was selling vegetables. Your mom made sure that
Yeah.
education happened after marriage and everything. But you have also did good for yourself in education. Is there a trigger that was always in your life that child education is something that
Yeah.
you really would want to do?
So I did not get proper education myself until 10th.
Hmm.
I was studying in a vernacular Marathi medium school. Very humble school. Um, I think the basic motive is to give education to the kids who come from similar backgrounds like mine and get the education that I couldn't get. So
But you have done good for yourself.
I've done because I molded myself really well.
I think your parents did
A
an
lot
amazing
of
job.
credit goes to my elder brother who set benchmarks for himself. I remember the times when there were insects, there were rats hovering around us in the room where we used to sit and study under the light of the bathroom. So I imagine that very picture, I imagine that very scenery in my mind, in my head every day. And I feel if someone like me can rise above this situation, someone who's in the same exact situation, even worse situation, a kid, if they do not meet someone like I did, like my elder brother, it would be very difficult for them.
Kudos to every one of you.
Yeah.
Kudos to and coming for the next 5 to 10 years, what are the larger impact that you hope not just you but social media or the content creation economy makes so that we all live in a better future?
Um, I just hope every creator in this industry learns how to take risks, learns how to take high leaps, learns how to give back in their own ways, whatever extent they can. It's very simple. You are a creator in the beauty industry. Amazing. You have done really well. You're doing really well. You don't have to give back in the form of money. I'll introduce you to a village where there is a girl who wants to become a makeup artist when she grows up, but does not get that support in her family, does not have funds to learn from, does not have internet to learn from. I'll introduce you to that child, or you will get so many stories on the internet who need that support. You find that child and maybe teach that child how to do makeup. The child might forget the makeup kit that you gave to her, but the time you spent with her in order to teach her how to do your under eye, she will never forget that. So I think the creator industry should learn how to allocate time outside of the creator industry so that they can get that motivation to keep doing the same. We wait for that perfect time to give back, but I feel if you give back every day in some form, every week in some form, it will actually help you. It will actually benefit you to do better in your life. Because the materialistic motivation, I just bought this new phone, 17 Pro Max, and the happiness lasted for a minute. After that, I'm back to life. But the durability and the time bound, the durability of that happiness is so long when you help someone. It becomes a part of your story.
Throughout the interview, you had those stories with you. Every time I
Yeah.
asked you something, you had those stories, and so I get what you were saying. There are two things that I would want to ask you before we wrap up, and one is if you have to go back and talk to your younger self, say something to your younger self, what would that be?
Hmm. It's not too late. You can still wake up. You can still hope for the very fact that you will find someone that eternally cares about you and someone who guides you in the right direction. It's not too late. You can still wake up and start working on yourself. It's not too late. You can still wake up, do internships, do jobs with a minimal basic talent. It's not too late. Wake up. You will find the love of your life.
And going forward, this was for something in the past, but for something in future, when when you look back to today, or maybe the career that you had, how do you want not just yourself but others to remember?
I want them to just remember me. That's enough.
And what should they remember when they remember you?
Someone who made them feel something. Something.
Okay. Um, Thank you, Sid. I think I had a wonderful conversation. Uh, Thank you for reminding that we can use social media for social good as well. Like I told you earlier, and I think I've said it several times during the conversation as well, that I really appreciate the kind of work that you're doing, and I really hope that you continue to do this and create ripple effect, which is beyond the screen. I wish all the luck for you and the kids, and I hope that you make a city for yourself.
I just hope, and I hope social ketchup is also part of that.
We will be.
You tell me after this interview, what is one thing that you will remember me with?
I will remember about the passion that you had.
Okay.
I
That's
will
enough.
remember for that.
That's good. But it was lovely talking to you also.
Thank you.
Thanks for being a great listener.
Thank you so much. But that's what I love doing.
Thank you. Thank you so much for watching till the end. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe as soon as you can.